yeah, so I sort of like, not seeing, frustrated not seeing my daughter for a while, and I break the window, and I was upset that I broke it, it's wrong, whatever, and I wish it didn't happen, do you know what I mean, yeah? And then sort of like 2 weeks later I get an injunction on me, through the door. And honestly I didn't really read that letter, I just sort of virtually got through the door, and then I was walking down the road, okay, and I saw my daughter opposite the road, and I say hi to her. She was with a boy or whatever.
Yeah.
And I say hi, and she didn't say anything. She was just turning actually into the road I live, and this is a very small town, alright. And I was actually going to see a friend. That's the honest truth.
Yeah.
Or whatever, And I saw her over there, but I didn't even know that I had really an injunction on me. Do you know what I mean? I didn't know that I wasn't allowed to say hello to her or anything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really virtually just got that letter. Do you know what I mean? And anyway, I said hello to her, and 3 days later, the police knocked on my door. And this is at 7 o'clock at night, and I was just sort of like getting my dinner. No, sorry, I was with 2 friends, okay, and we're having a drink, that's right. And we just come back from the shop, that's right. And the police knocked on my door, and I thought, oh my God, and they were really banging it really hard, you know what I mean? And I thought, oh, what's going on? I didn't have a clue, honestly. So they said, Darren, we'll knock the door, knock it down if you don't open it in 3 minutes. They were really serious, you know what I mean? Yeah, very serious.
Fucking coppers, mate.
Also, very serious. Yeah. Tarquin in here, and they were sort of, I don't know, it's just all, we were all a bit worried, you know what I mean, all 3 of us, when we were in here. So anyway, I let them in, I think, and then they said, we're taking you because you spoke to your daughter.
Yeah.
We're filming this, and I said, all right, okay.
Yeah,
and
probably couldn't believe it when they said that to you.
Well, so, and I left my friends here.
Yeah.
2 of them, all night long. Whilst I stayed 23 hours in a high detention prison for talking to my own daughter. And then, I was sort of like pulled out sometimes, alright, out of my prison cell to talk to people, but they didn't talk to me. It's all weird, honestly. My treatment was awful in prison, alright, honestly. Then they put me in a room about 2 o'clock in the morning, right? I didn't sleep that night, I was just sort of like relaxing in my prison cell, with the cover under me, whatever,
Yeah.
And they pulled me up about 2 o'clock in the morning, right? And I went in this room, and there's 5 people in there, and they were sort of sitting around this big table, asking me, did I speak to my daughter? And I'm like, no, I'm not a murderer. This is my daughter. What's going on here? Do you know what I mean? I thought, it's freaking me out, the whole lot of it in a kind of way. Do you know what I mean? I thought, confusing me, because I don't think it's a crime talking to your own daughter.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And that's why I think, hang on.
Yeah.
This is why I don't like the justice, I don't like it anymore, do you know what I mean? I've not seen my daughter for 8 years now, do you know what I mean? And I'm thinking, hang on, that's justice for you.
Yeah.
When I'm trying to love my daughter, do you know what I mean? She means the world to me, and I'm trying to protect her from everyone in a kind of way. And they're saying, no, you're not allowed to do that anymore, do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? You're not allowed to see her anymore, do you know what I mean? I just don't know what's going on, I don't understand it, do you know what I mean? It's confusing.
Yeah.
But it's got a lot to do with my daughter, I might have said, because she's young. She said, I don't want to see my dad anymore, do you know what I mean, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? And they manipulate children in a kind of way because they're quite young. You've got to think she was only sort of like 15, 16, and then they're, signing this bit of paper, getting an injunction on their dad, do you know what I mean? And it's all wrong, they shouldn't do this. They shouldn't put injunctions on people like this, do you know what I mean? It's completely seriously wrong, and it's all a money-making game if you ask me,
Yeah.
But children suffer because I would have given everything to my 2 children, do you know what I mean? But their rights being taken away from me too, It's not like you're not allowed to see your dad, if you see what I mean, and you're not, do you know what I mean? And they do this to a lot of people.
They do.
All around, do you know what I mean?
The way the system is set up is a bit of it's very, very strange.
It is, like I say, a lot of people are there making money out of it.
Yeah.
It's just like show business, like the entertainment business we were talking about one time. There's a lot of people in that game.
Yeah.
And this is a different game, do you know what I mean? A lot of people are in that serious game of putting people in prison and all that, do you know what I mean? And I think there's lots of different, I love firemen, whatever, I respect them, whatever, and I respect nurses, okay, but I've got no respect for police whatsoever anymore. That's my opinion of them, I just wish we had a different police force, basically, I think we need a police force, but not this one.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I think they're too nasty.
It's an illusion because it's there to serve the people, but the ultimate the ultimate thing is to serve the elite.
I just think they're a little
Because
bit...
if it all came down to it tomorrow, and people were attempting to riot and overthrow, I'm just giving it an example and being hypothetical, you know, I'm not being serious, but I'm just saying, let's say for example someone tomorrow decided to organise something where they wanted to overthrow the government, let's say for example, and they were trying to create a riot in Downing Street or one at Westminster or one of these places where these people congregate and all this type of thing, they would probably get killed, mate. They'd probably be shot. If you see what I mean.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, people...
They'll probably get shot down on sight. So what I'm trying to say is, yes, they are there to protect the vulnerable and the average person if you ring them up and call them, you know, for the people who are vulnerable. But the main goal of the police and these kind of people is to serve the upper echelon of society, to protect the rich from the poor. That is just a reality, you know.
It's true.
So
that is true.
You know, don't get me wrong. There are instances where they are necessary. If your house gets, let's say you've got insurance, yeah, and let's say your property gets broken into, and things get stolen from your house. Sometimes you'll have to ring the police to get them to come to your house to make a report to say that yes, there has been a robbery and XYZ was stolen and taken, so that you can then give that to your insurance company to get back the money for what was lost. You'll get back that in money essentially from your insurance company because it's covered by insurance. So there are useful.
There's a lot of crime in insurance, isn't there?
Exactly.
You know, people burn their houses down and things, or businesses
destroy their businesses, to get the tax money. Yeah, it's true, man. The insurance money.
I think it's a bit of a wicked business. You know, like I say, it is a bit of a wicked world, isn't it? You know, I think it always has been. Like we were saying earlier on, they used to cut people's head off, hang people, stretch people.
Yeah.
You know, all sorts of things, all sorts of punishments in the past. You know what I mean?
Once upon a time, there was the only law and order was whoever was in charge at the time in that particular place. Whoever the king or whoever it was, wherever you were in the world, whoever the king or whoever it was that was in power, he made the decisions.
That's right.
And whatever happened. You know, if they decided they were gonna, you know, put someone to death, everyone else went along with it. You know what I mean? They went along with it and they fulfilled the orders of the king, and you know.
Well, in this country, like if you tried to kill the Queen or said something about killing her or anything like that, that's a reasonable offence.
Oh, of course, of course,
You know, and it always has been. You know, like if you go against the king or queen, it's a criminal offence.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And that's unfair, isn't it? Really, when you think about it, you know, like if you didn't like your king, you still got to like him.
Yeah.
Or the queen, whatever. You know, you still got to love them whether you like them or not.
Mm.
You know, you're not allowed to go against them, basically.
Right.
You know, no, I think that's a little bit wrong, you know. So that means if you get a bad king, which we have had sometimes in this country, you know, I think like you do get good kings and you do get bad kings and queens. You know?
Yeah.
I think our queen that just died, I think she's quite a good queen, really, you know. I think she's done quite a good job in a kind of way, you know.
Mm.
But there are certain things I didn't like about her or whatever, you know. But, you know. Well, so I don't think she chose to be queen. She was just born there, wasn't she?
Yeah.
You know, it was just there. She had to do it.
Yeah.
You know, in a kind of way. It's in her birth, in a kind of way. So I don't think it is, you know, I don't blame anyone in this world for being who they are, in a kind of way. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because they were born into it.
Yeah, they were actually born into it, and it's...
Inherited something, inherited power.
Yeah, it's like Prince Harry, for instance, you know, he was born just like me and you, do you know what I mean? But, you know, his mum's Diana and, you know, whatever, do you know what I mean? You know, I mean, how she died, you know, that was, you know...
Yeah. A lot of people would say there wasn't she didn't get the justice that she deserved.
No,
a lot of people would argue that.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, I think it was a bit. I think it's all again a bit all strange. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tunnel.
Me too.
her,
Well,
the most loveliest lady in the world, almost. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
at
she talked about it, didn't she?
Yeah, that's
before
right.
Before her untimely passing.
Yeah.
She spoke about it.
Mm-hmm.
She believed that something was being orchestrated.
Yeah.
You know, not to go into too much detail.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, she believed that something was being planned. You know, so yeah.
I mean, that Twin Towers. Do you know what I mean? It's still probably investigated today.
Probably.
You know.
But the people that really suffered and the innocent people that really died and suffered in these things are the ones, their families are the ones who really are the ones that feel it. You know? It's all the innocent people. You know? People that were just trying to do their job.
Mm-hmm. So, I think like justice, talking about justice though, it really, we were talking about education a few weeks back, whatever, you know, and I think it's all down to education again, you know. I just wish that everybody was brought up right.
Yeah.
Like this marriage stuff and all this, it's kind of like made people split up, divorce and all kinds of things, you know. It's kind of like, it's not what children want, you know. You've got to think about children, really, yeah. Like, if they had a proper upbringing, you know, if we were all just proper educated in the first place. If my nan was educated, you know what I mean? She wasn't, or my mother wasn't educated. You know, they were just basically farm workers, you know what I mean? And that was that. We weren't educated to think for ourselves, basically. You know.
Educated to be a worker.
Well, you know, at school
to be a part of the system.
At school they teach you how to think. Sorry, they teach you what to think, not how to think, basically. You with me? You know, children need learning how to think, if you see what I mean. Not what to think. They're being taught what to think all the time. But they need to be taught how to think. That's the answer. You know, like, as I say, you know, like when I was a child, we were cutting up frogs. There's always fighting going on, you know, a little bit, you know what I mean? And you have to be a bit wary, you know? Yeah. And it's like there's no education about compassion. And compassion and love is the highest form of intelligence that you can actually get. Do you see what I mean? You know, where at school and everyone, you know, even I felt like rejected at school sometimes, you know, because I was locked up in a cupboard and things, whatever, and other things. I think we all feel it sometimes, you know, or you don't get rewarded with the big badges or anything like that because you haven't done so well, you know, and you know, you're not getting sort of praised as much as some people are. That's what we don't want that at schools. Do you know what I mean? Everyone should be praised. You know, everyone's got gifts.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
You know, that's what I feel, you know.
It's just another one of those things that I think that just, well, I think it's a good and bad thing in reality, because I also think that it teaches kids the reality of life. You know, and I know it's a bit harsh, but I think that the younger you understand and realise that life is not fair, and the world itself is not fair, life is starting to make a bit more sense, if you see what I mean. You start to understand it a bit more, definitely, you know? Because life is not fair, you know? And it's important to teach your kids that the reality of life is that there's winners and there's losers. And I don't mean losers with a negative connotation, if you see what I mean. I'm just saying that's just the reality of life. Someone has to win, someone has to lose. If you're running a race, if me and my mate, let's say, okay, let's have a bet tomorrow, mate. Let's see who can run, 50 meters.
Win.
You know, let's do a 100-meter run, mate, and see who wins the race. Put £50 up. You know, at the end of the day, once we've run that race, if we set off here and run to the top of that road right there, once we finish that race, someone's won and someone's lost.
That's right.
And that is just the reality.
We could draw.
Well,
possible.
Yes, but the likelihood of that is very, very minuscule.
Yeah, that's true.
So what I'm saying, in life there's just winners and there's losers. And that is just a reality. It sounds harsh. And I know sometimes people say, oh, that's, you know, that's a bit hard to digest. And, you know, they always say the truth is the hardest thing to swallow, the hardest pill to swallow. And life is not fair. Life is not fair. So sometimes things happen in your life to you or to your loved ones or the people around you that you know and you love, your friends or whatever. Sometimes shit happens and you have no explanation or any kind of understanding as to why something like that would ever happen. But things happen in life to everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone goes through trauma. Everyone goes through loss. Everyone goes through grief. Everyone goes through all these things in life at some point.
We all got to kind of learn the same thing,
So,
to understand it.
Yeah.
Like, but like you were saying about the race, you know, I'm the kind of person, kind of man.
Yeah.
That, like, if we were in a race, me and you, and maybe a few other people, like 10 people, say, and we're racing down the road, I'm the kind of man that you know, quite happy to lose. Sit back and relax and watch them win. You see, and I feel like I'm the winner because you know they're out of breath and I'm just relaxing watching them.
Yeah, you're cruising. You're on cruise control.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're on cruise control.
So I'm the winner because I just watched.
You're just partaking.
I watched 9 men run off in
Yeah.
front of me. Right, they're all puffed out thinking they're winners, and I'm thinking, hang on, I've got my feet up here.
Yeah.
I'm the winner.
You lot run ahead. I'm okay.
I'm the winner. You might think you've won, but I'm up with my feet up.
You're the turtle. You're the turtle in the race, are you, mate?
Yeah. Be the turtle. Don't worry about losing. That's what I think. You know. That's what I. You know, because I went through a bit of a tough school, and you know, like my dad, for instance. You know, he rejected me a bit. You know, he didn't really love me as much as my brothers say. You know. And it hurt me. You know, like I think I've mentioned before. He never sent me any birthday cards or anything. You know, where he sent my brother. And things like that, and it kind of hurt me, you know.
Yeah, understandably.
But that's good, you know, because it's kind of like losing, and you kind of get used to it in a kind of way, you know. Rejection, being hurt like this, it kind of makes you feel, well, I'm a winner. Yeah. You know, in the end of the day, it makes you win.
Yeah.
I can't explain it.
Makes you stronger.
Well, you know, I've lost my wife. Do you know what I mean? Whatever, you know, and that really hurt me, but. Now I think I'm a winner, okay, because I'm enjoying life a lot more than I've ever done in my whole life, you know what I mean? You know, and I think, I don't know, it's her loss, you know, because I would have given her the world, do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, sometimes, like, people do throw away when people are giving them, you know what I mean? And they don't, you know, they don't appreciate it, or, you know, they just want something different, you know what I mean? Whatever. You know, like I say, it's quite a nasty world, you know, and I've learned some nasty lessons in it, you know, on my way. And I just feel that, you know, as I'm getting older, life's getting better. Yeah. You know, I'm starting to understand it more, you know, and I feel that like by next year I'm going to be even happier, you know. I might know more about law by then, you know, whatever, and justice and everything.
Yeah. Bit more enlightened.
We're all trying, I think everyone's trying to, like you've said before, better themselves each day, you know. And I feel like we do slowly get better at times. The human race itself, you know, from the last few thousand years, have we bettered ourselves? Yeah. Well, we've got light bulbs, we've got TV, we've got computers.
We have in lots of ways.
We have sort of like tried to get better in one way or another, but I think we're kind of like looking like, you know, maybe in a couple of 100 years' time things will improve even better, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, hopefully.
You know, it takes time, you know, I think it just takes time even for oneself to get wise in life, you know. You know, I'm still learning, you know, honestly, you know. But I feel that like slowly in time, it just gets better. You know, as long as you don't give up, you know, I think the art of life really is doing things all the time, you know what I mean? And being positive about it, you know, and sometimes you have to do things that you don't, you know, like we said before, cleaning things, but just get on with it.
That's it.
You know, just do it and just go to work and just get on with it with a smile, you know. Yeah. You know, just enjoy the moment, innit? Yeah. You know?
Discipline.
That's what I'm learning to do, actually, enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
It don't matter so much about the past, does it? you know. And like, so I'm really looking forward to the future, you know, and hoping the justice system might get a bit better, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
They improve things,
Yeah.
which I think that hopefully they will.
Hopefully over time, mate.
You know, I don't think we should be doubting.
Nothing, no system or anything that exists or that has been put into place created by man is ever completely perfect. Everything has flaws. Everything has pros and cons. Absolutely everything. You know, no matter what it is, it's got pros and cons to it. You know.
Even me, you know, I'm not perfect.
Exactly. You know. So of course, you know, they're not always going to get it right, but you want a system that is just a fairer, just system where people, you know, get the justice that they do deserve, you know, for whatever the case may be, you know, whether it be, you know, in their favour or against their favour, depending on, you know, the situation.
I think personally, when you do something bad, like really bad, which I've not really done in my life, you know, I don't want to. But because I know, right, for one, I mean, I don't want to do something nasty for one, but the second reason is because it's been my memory. You know, and your memories belong to you. You know, so your crimes belong to you too. Your lies belong to you. Yeah. So you've got to live with them for the rest of your life. So if you do something really nasty, you've got to sort of, it niggle you every day, do you know what I mean, for the rest of your life, what you've done. And you won't enjoy it so much. That's that, do you know what I mean? You know, if you want to make a good future, you've got to start enjoying the moment. And if you start enjoying, say for instance today, yeah, a lot of moments in one day, isn't there? But if you enjoyed every moment, alright, you've got a lot of good moments to remember in the future, you see. So it's all about making good moments up, isn't it? You know?
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of criminals out there, you know, and even today I went to the shops and there was a couple of drunk people about, you know what I mean, and they don't know what to do with their life, do you know what I mean? It's kind of like they're given